Hey everyone, today we have a full face of Cle de Peau, and specifically we are going to focus on the new single eyeshadows. I have all 6 shades. I'm going to go through the shades, talk about the difference between this formula and the formula that's in the quads, which I also have, and just also go through really quickly what else is on my face. So today I have on the Cle de Peau Brightening Enhancer Veil. I do have video of me putting this on. You have to shake it up. It's a broad spectrum SPF 32 sunscreen that's included in this. It's 1 fluid ounce. It's a very tiny bottle. And basically it's similar to the Pearl enhancer that Chanel has. I don't like it as much because there's a scent to it. I think it's rose. I'm not really sure, but yeah, there's too much perfume in it for me, and I'm susceptible to headaches. I like perfumes a lot, and I have a lot of perfumes, so for me to say that, it's definitely a strong scent, but the look of it is beautiful. On my face, for foundation, I have the Cle de Peau Radiant Cream Foundation. This also has an SPF of 25, and this foundation, you can see me putting it on in the video. This is a much thicker, creamier foundation. I do not wear this generally in the summer, but I wanted to not wear the cushion today because the cushion's my favorite and I use it a lot. This is a great foundation though. If you're looking for something that's creamier, heavier, I'd say a medium level. It's not super thick, but to me, since I'm now using the Lisa Eldridge all the time, this seems just 10 times more. It's a medium level foundation. This is in B10. I think I'm like B00, and there is a B00. But it's very difficult to find. During my trip, I'm going to see if I can find it, and if not, I'm going to have to buy it from Harrods or something. I know they have it in the cushion, I've seen it, but I keep saying I'm going to get it, and then I never do. I think it's a little deep for me. For the summer, I think it's probably fine, but I don't wear it in the summer, I wear it in the winter. So anyway, but it's a beautiful foundation. Like I said, it's very creamy, and it looks great on the skin. I have on the Luminizer in 16. This is the more bronzy one because I don't have a bronzer on today. I don't have a Cle de Peau bronzer. The bronzers are warm leaning, so I just decided never to pick them up, and so I don't have a bronzer. So I don't have a bronzer on today. I have on number 4 in the Cle de Peau cream blush, which I absolutely love. I have the Precious lipstick on right now, and I forgot which shade this one is, but I'll get you the name of it. I always forget. I forget which one I bought, which is silly because I should remember. I don't think it's on the packaging because these are refillable. So the print is incredibly tiny. I don't know if you can even see the print there, but let me get out a magnifying glass and see. Oh, it is on there. So it's shade 6. So this is the Precious lipstick in shade 6. It's a beautiful shade. I really like this one. I put it on very lightly. I am going to put a little bit of gloss over it when we are done. This is one of the shimmers, and this one is, I always get the name wrong, Magnia Magnifica, hopefully I'm close, which is one of their cream like glosses. These are great, very expensive, but really good. So that's what I have on my face today. Again, all Cle de Peau. I also have a little bit of the Cle de Peau powder on my face. This is shade 1 Light. This is the translucent loose powder in holiday packaging. That's what's on my face, whole face of Cle de Peau. One of my favorite lines, actually, and I really do enjoy it, it's just that they don't come out with as many collections, which actually works really well for me. I think that's a good thing, but so I don't do as much content on them, although I use them all the time in my everyday life. So as we know, if you've been following along, Cle de Peau came out with new eyeshadow quads a year ago or so, and they are refillable, and they have a case, same as these eyeshadows, which we'll get into in a second. I've bought quite a few of them. What is really unique about these, besides the price, is that there is a primer and then 3 shades. The primer itself can be used all over the eye as an eyeshadow, or you can put it on and then use the other ones over it. You can even put it over the other shades. I've done numerous videos on them. The green one is one of my favorite shades. The primer that's in there is enriched with, and this is their language, a moisturizing bouncy formulation. The primer locks in moisture for 8 hours. Tone correcting, it refines the shadow's finish and extends their wear to 12 hours. I will tell you that this formula has the ability to keep your look all day. So if I use the Cle de Peau quads, I have chosen to use them with the primer first and then the shades over it. And I have to say, not only does it look beautiful, but it lasts all day. It doesn't crease. It doesn't show texture. It looks phenomenal. I never have to worry about it. It is my favorite formula for a long day of meetings, conferences, those types of things. It's not necessarily my favorite eyeshadow of all time or my favorite eyeshadow even. I actually enjoy, I think, the Hermes ones more and like the big Byredo palettes because they're more fun. Like they have more shimmer, they have more interesting shades a lot of the time. But these are the kinds of things that, to be honest, like on an everyday, this is what I'd reach for, especially for work-related functions. My job is a pretty serious one. I don't know what the words are. I'm tired today, but yeah, I mean, they're not opportunities to wear a lot of shimmer or a lot of color or bright pink or orange or blue. That's not what would be the best choice for what I'm doing. The Cle de Peau's are perfect for that. The Cle de Peau's are also perfect if you're just like a one and done person, or you want something that's really easy to use, or you're just more of that quiet luxury person and you don't like bright gold, bold, shimmery, sparkly, glittery shades. So the new eyeshadow singles look like this. I'll show you all of them in just a minute. So they have the Cle de Peau insignia on the middle of them. They have a case that does come separately. These are expensive. I'll put the prices down below, but very much like the quads, you basically take these shades, these single eyeshadow shades, and you put them in the case. They snap in, and there's a little mirror, and the cases are very nice, and they look like the big case. They're easy to do. There are 6 shades. There's Pink Ocean Dawn, Glistening Pearl, Deep Sea Amethyst, which I just showed you, Sun-Kissed Coral, Deep Blue Ocean, and Toasty Sand. The way that these are described, the formula, is that they blended their skincare ingredient, which is Skin Empowering Illuminator MK, into a gelatinized oil with luminous pigments. The formulation blends pigments with skincare ingredients so that the new eye color solo is able to deliver both long-lasting color and moisture. The way that I read this is it's not the same as the primer, but it's similar. Bouncy and soft texture adheres to the eyelids evenly without stickiness. Blended with skincare ingredients like I just mentioned. Hydration and texture are improved. 3-dimensional finish that absorbs and reflects the light. And then you have the 6 different shades. So it seems to me that basically what they're saying is it's got a similar bouncy feeling that the primer has, but it's not the same, exact same formula. There are sheer and soft all the way to rich. So let me show you the sheer soft shades, then the medium shades, then the rich shades. So the sheer and soft shades are Pink Ocean Dawn, which is a light pink. And then we have Glistening Pearl, which is a glistening pearl. Those are the sheer and soft shades. Then we have the, what they call medium shades, which is the Deep Sea Amethyst and the Sun-Kissed Coral. Then we have the rich shades, which are the Deep Blue Ocean and the Toasty Sand. And I think you can see some are warm, some are cool. The ones that are warm are the Toasty Sand, the Sun-Kissed Coral, and the Pearl. I want to push these down, but I don't want them to pop out of there. These 3 are warm, light, medium, deep. And then for the cool shades, light, medium, deep. The idea of these is that these are single shades, so similar to the Chanel shades, these should be one and done kind of shades. So you just put them all over your eye and you're finished. I can do that. I have done that. to have a sheer one and done shade, but I also want to make sure that these work with other shades and other powders. It should, because the idea is similar to the primer shades in the quads. You put the primer shade down, the other ones go on top of it, right? So let's start with the sheer and soft. So the Pink Ocean is the first one. And like I said, the Pink Ocean, very light pink with a little bit of gold reflect in there. And the feel of these is very similar to the primer shades. It's got that creamy texture. Then we go to the medium shades. Do the Amethyst first. And then Sun-Kissed Coral. And then the deep shades. Deep Blue Ocean. And then the Toasty Sand. Now I'm doing one swatch of these. I'm not building them. I want you to see what they look like. Just one swatch. You can see these are light and sheer. These are more medium. These are deeper shades. What I'm gonna do is a cool eye and a warm eye, which is gonna look weird, but it is what it is. And then we'll see how the shades work as, quote, normal crease, deepening, that kind of thing. I think that these are, I don't think they're exactly the same as the primer shades. And the reason I say that is when I put my finger across the primer shades, they're creamier. Like, these are harder than the primer shade. Now, it could be that I've just used those more. We'll see. But it seems to me that it's slightly different. We'll find out. Or I'll try to find out if it's slightly different. Okay. So let's start with a warm eye and a cool eye. Now, we're going to see how well these work with brushes. That's the other thing. Because sometimes the creamier shades work best with your hands, which is fine. But if you're trying to do a one and done look, it's no big deal. But if you're trying to do something that has like a crease and a, you know, that becomes tougher. Let's take the middle shades, so the medium shades. On this one, it's Coral. Let's see, we can use it as a, yeah, works great with the brush. That's the first thing I would say. Works great with the brush. Again, I would use these more as one and dones, but you want to be able to, you want to see what they can do, basically. But yeah, I would just use them all over the eyelid because I think that's the best way to use these. But then we'll take the Amethyst over here. I really like the Amethyst shade. The more I use them, the more they do feel like the primer shade, like they're becoming softer. Oh, this is a beautiful shade. The Amethyst shade. The Amethyst shade is like lilac, which I talked about the other day. Like lilac's very popular right now. Basically a lilac, but it's a beautiful lilac. The Chanel shade would look good with that. And the Chanel mascara. All right, let's do the lightest shade all over the eye. Do the warm one first. And I think these are going to be best with your fingers and all over look. If you want to use them for a multi-shade look, you absolutely can, because you can use your fingers, or as you can see here, you can definitely use a brush. I think the difference is going to be when you use your fingers, you're going to get more pigment out of them, but just remember, it depends on what shade you use. If you use the light sheer shades, you're not going to get as much of a pigment. It's going to be a lighter look. Got that one on that eye. That pink is really pretty. It's like it's got like a gold overlay to it. Let's use the deep shades. We'll blend it all in just a second. Use the blue over here. And like I said, I think these are going to be great one and dones, but they also work with other shades. I'm very drawn to the cool ones in this. I just think I think they're really beautiful, but I think these are all nice. All right, let me just blend these a little bit better. Nothing on the brush, just a little bit of blending. Not trying to over blend, and then take these and take the deepest shade and use it as liner. All right, so we've got deeper shades, medium, sheer and soft, cool, warm. So what I would say about these is exactly what I would say about these. They look beautiful on the eye. They actually blend really well together. They're not difficult to blend, even though this is a creamy, bouncy. They're extremely easy to blend. These, I think, are going to be similar to the quads because they either are the same formula as the primer or they're very close. And I feel like they're a little bit different. But anyway, what they are, though, is this excellent blending of skincare and pigment. I think what they are offering is a really easy to use, long wearing, simple color story for everyone. And I do think these are going to be, I do think the people that are going to be more interested in these will also be the people that are interested in the Chanels, not just because of the price point and the luxury item. What am I looking for? The draw of luxury, but I don't think it's just that. I think it's, these are not shiny or glittery or over the top. First of all, there's 6 shades and they're all, these are in a way, although cool and warm, neutrals because none of these shades are outlandish in any way. I think it absolutely are shades that most people would like and use. So I think it's going to appeal to folks on that level. So let me put some mascara on so you can see how these look with a full look. I'm going to put a little of the Cle de Peau gloss on, and then we'll just talk about price points and a few other things. All right, so yes, I have one cool eye and one warm eye, but other than that, I think you can tell that Cle de Peau just does a beautiful, it's just a very sophisticated, soft overall look. On my lips is the premium lipstick in 6, and then the gloss in the Medea that I talked about. It's a really beautiful pinky opalescent gloss, which really looks good, frankly, over everything. Do I like the eyeshadows? Yes, I like the eyeshadows. Are they very similar, if not the same, to the primer material formula? Yes, they are. I think they're a little different. They feel a little different, but maybe that is because I've used the others longer and so they softened up more. It's possible. They have a creamy feel to them when you put them on the eye, but then they dry down into the powder. They also seem to last really well. They don't crease on my eyes. I do have dry eyelids, dry skin, so if you have an oily lid, I can't tell you what it will do, but because these have that similar formula where it's like this primer slash skincare slash pigment, I think they're gonna last really well because they do seem to set extremely well and they don't seem to like migrate on the eye and they don't crease on the eye, at least not on me. Pricing. So if I'm looking at Harrods where they are currently available, they are $28 per eyeshadow. So obviously that is quite a bit cheaper than Chanel. However, I don't know if that's $28. I don't know if that's $28 because it's at Harrods and it will be 30 something here. I'm not absolutely sure because this is Harrods. They do ship to the United States, and so yes, you would pay $28, but when they launch here in the United States, I'm not sure what they're gonna be. They could be the same price. They could be $30. They could be $35. So they come like this in the refills, and then the case comes separately, just like the quad. I will put what I paid down below. For some reason, I can't find the price of the case right now while I'm looking at Harrods. Maybe it's sold out. I'm not absolutely sure. Let's say it is $28 when they're on the US Cle de Peau site. Let's just go with that. The Chanel ones are $40. They do come with their cases, the Chanel ones. So, you know, if you want to buy a case for each one, it will depend on how much the case is. Let's say the case is $10. So then it's basically the same as the Chanel's because you don't get the case. I mean, again, I don't know exactly how much the case is, and I can't seem to find it here, which is really interesting. A couple other things to note. They are 24 months, made in Japan. They are 0.14 ounces. Let me go get the Chanel's and tell you how big those are. The Chanel's are 0.06. These are 0.14 and the others are 0.06. And the other ones are $40. Now they do have a case, but still. Literally it's twice as much in here. The other thing I will say, and I'm going to do a comparison video where I have the Dior's and the Sicily's and the Cle de Peau's and they're coming, the Chanel's. The Chanel's come in different finishes. These are all the same finish, really. They're light reflecting, creamy, satiny finishes. So these are 6 shades in all the same finishes, and it's more of a, you can build them, but it's more of a wash of color. Whereas the Chanel's, there's 14 or 15, I forgot how many shades there are, 14 shades, and they're different finishes, and there's 0.06 for $40, and these are 0.14 for somewhere around $30, and they don't have their case. So again, I will have more in the comparison review that I'm going to do, but I think for the same, I think they are meant for a similar market. They'll definitely luxury market, definitely a more, I'm gonna use the word mature eye. I think people who are looking for a more soft, elegant, subdued look are going to be drawn to these. They also are going to be for people who work a lot of hours and want a makeup look that they don't have to worry about. Because let's face it, like if you've ever done like those multi-day conferences, they're like 15-hour days and you cannot be worried. You cannot be worried about your makeup. That's the last thing. Usually it's my shoes that hurt first and then I go from there. But yeah, like you just want something that's simple and easy and you know, it's gonna work with your outfit or whatever. So yeah, huge fan. I really think it looks nice. I think it lives up to the Cle de Peau branding. Formula is really good. I think again, it's just a matter of, you know, what you're looking for and what you like, which is, you know, really what it always is. So like I said, I'll have more when I do the comparison video, but if you have any questions, let me know down below. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.